Are you so serious? Are you seriously serious? Get a cup of coffee, everybody. Calm down. We're very serious reporting here, and this has just happened. This has just happened. A major development in the Holy Land right now. Destruction is looming as Israel and Lebanon looks like is involved. The war may have just begun 38 minutes ago. Let me tell you exactly what's happening. First of all, we have this situation. www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. This is the end of the year sale that Mike Lindell's put on, and it's a great, great opportunity for you to save a ton of money on everything that you need. The pillow shams, the blankets, the pillows, mypillow.com, the MyPillow 2.0. Look, guys, the towel sets, the sheets, the Giza sheets, the slippers, everything. I mean, everything. We're talking about everything. Incredible sale just for my followers right there at www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. Check it out right now. And, of course, Mike has been really good to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, and so we thank God for what he does. All right, now, here's the situation. It's a very serious one, but we have to share it with you because of what's going on right now. Just a few minutes ago, the IDF made a major offensive strike. They're calling it, maybe they think it's a preemptive, but really it's not. They're responding to well over 1,500 rockets have been fired at Israel over the past few weeks from Lebanon. And how the fact that Lebanon, Hezbollah, and you're seeing an actual photograph behind me here, have been shooting and firing artillery across the border at innocent civilians, at military personnel, and even at churches. And they hit the Greek Orthodox Church. Here's the deal: the Army says the forces are to the point now where it's out of control. So Benny Gantz, a few minutes ago, has reported that he told the German chancellor that Hezbollah must be distanced from the border. That's no longer we're just retaliating for them shooting at Israel. Israel's not just retaliating because they got shot at. No, it's a game changer. Gantz is now making the announcement. We got to move these guys off the border. We got to move them back. We are going to move them back. The war is on, basically. The war is just really expanding. So during a phone call, this is what Benny Gantz said, but he didn't just speak it. Then they put airstrikes into action and military and artillery movement. The state of Israel cannot, he said, reconcile with such a threat with Hezbollah, and Germany, together with the international community, have an important role to play in ensuring such a threat is removed, according to Benny Gantz. He says that the two also discussed, meaning Israel and Germany, discussed the growing threat that the Iranian-led axis of terror poses to global stability, particularly in the Red Sea and other places around the world. So Benny Gantz is saying, it's not just our border with Lebanon we got a major problem with. Look what's going on to the ships in the Red Sea. Look what's going on to ships in the Mediterranean. Look at all the different proxies that Iran has got in play right now. The world just can't sit back on its hands and just allow the Iranians to just start ruling the Middle East with terrorism and warfare. So Gantz is making that proclamation. Well, Israel did exactly what Gantz said. They went in with major offensive and did some massive damage there across the border in Lebanon. The damage, quite extensive, really, quite a powerful offensive, and that's just the beginning. It appears to me that Israel is getting in position to start rolling tanks across the border and driving the Hezbollah military back. Now, this, you have to understand, the Hezbollah military force is 10 times stronger than the Hamas military force was on October 7th. 10 times stronger. So you got all your efforts right now in eliminating Hamas and grinding through, the crush and creep. I call it the crush and creep offensive maneuver that Israel's using in Gaza to drive and to hunt down and to root out and to eliminate the terrorists called Hamas. Meanwhile, you got a lot of personnel involved, a lot of troops, a lot of artillery, a lot of tanks, a lot of air strikes. You got a lot of attention going that direction. Meanwhile, you've got an enemy just north of you who's fired 1,500 rockets at you, and are taking pot shots at the. Israel's had to evacuate a lot of the small villages, towns, and farms along the northern part. Folks, you're coming into the spring before you know it. In Israel, they're going to be planning and preparing for the harvest up in the northern portions of Israel. And how are you going to do that if you're getting shot at every time you turn around? Okay, so this is where the prophecy about Jacob and it's going to wax lean, and there'll be only 2 berries. And when you go to a tree, there's only 2 berries in one tree and only 3 in the other. This was prophesied in the Bible. Economic situation starts developing in Israel due to the enemies that's attacking it on every side. It was prophesied in your Bible to happen. Now you're starting to see the effects of that prophecy in play. And let me just say this, while this is all going on, Israel has to do something. And they're asking the world to partner. Now, I noticed here the phone call from Benny Gantz was not to President Joe Biden. It was not to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. No, the phone call was to Germany. In other words, will somebody lock arms with us? Because we're getting ready. We're going to have to deal, and not just deal with it, not just tit for tat, but push it back. That's really the conversation that we're starting to see now developing in Israel from Benny Gantz on behalf of Benjamin Netanyahu. So, and that was 12 minutes ago. That this was just released, that Gantz made the statement. But it's been about 56 minutes ago that Israel made a major attack on Hezbollah. And also, they didn't just hit Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. They went ahead and hit Hezbollah supply line out of Aleppo in Syria. They're saying that Syria's state-run Sana news agency has just announced 56 minutes ago from their military sources that they have suffered major material losses caused by Israeli airstrikes this morning in Aleppo. It says that the Israeli fighter jets launched their missiles from over the Mediterranean Sea, and they hit several major sites in the Aleppo area. The report doesn't elaborate on exactly which sites were hit, but these were in and around the Aleppo International Airport has been hit there and was the targets of the strikes by Israel. So while Israel was bombing Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, they were also bombing the Hezbollah supply chain, which is what comes from Iran. They are hitting these strongholds where arms are stored and where military equipment is put together to be distributed into southern Lebanon over there in Syria. They just went ahead and hit them too. So they're hitting in Syria, they're hitting in southern Lebanon, they're grinding in Gaza, and they're also watching and their eyes wide open when it comes to Iran. They also got their eyes on Yemen and what they're doing. And the United States has now been hit 108 times. Let me just say this again. 108 times Iranian proxies have hit U.S. military bases and or ships with rockets, missiles, and artillery and airstrikes. 108. over 100 U.S. military personnel injured. And I don't know how many U.S. military are dead. They just are, those numbers are being hid from us. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't sleep on this situation. We're already in Psalms 83. This is Psalms 83. I can read it to you. This is definitely here. Okay? The question is, are we going to roll into Ezekiel 38? That's the question. Are we getting ready to roll into Ezekiel 38? This is just now happening. This is just now happening this morning. And I'm telling you now, destruction looms. And I'll prophesy that. I can safely, I don't want to. I would like to tell you something else, but let me prophesy it to you. Destruction looms. It's in the Bible, and now it's playing out in front of our very eyes. So this is a very serious situation. Now, I got another quick announcement real quick for you. While this is all going on, Anthony Blinken is still running around trying to figure out a way to build a two-state solution, of which Israel is saying, we don't want any part of that. Are you guys crazy? Why do you want to talk about this? When we're dealing with Hamas is still not done. We haven't finished off Hamas. There's still 175 people held hostage. We don't know if they're dead or alive. We're getting fired at 1,500 rockets from the north coming out of Lebanon, which we're sick and tired of, and we're starting to move in on that. We're dealing with the Syrians and firing rockets at us, and we're dealing with the Iranians who are funding all of these terrorist organizations. We don't know what the Russians are doing behind our back with the Iranians and with the Chinese. We got ships getting shot at. You guys are getting your bases shot at in Iraq and in Syria all over the place, and you're not doing anything. This is what Israel's saying to America. And we don't know what in the world's going on with the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. Why don't you guys fight back against Yemen? Why don't you deal with Yemen's Houthi rebels? Why are you just sitting there taking it? What's going on? So this is really the discussion taking place right now, and it's a very serious one. Now, our brand new book, Revelation 9:11, I just want to tell you something. We got an update on it. Of course, it went number one yesterday, became a number one bestseller. It's the first time that's happened. The book still don't ship till April 2nd. So the favor of God is on the book. Of course, God told me to write the book. I've said this many times. That I don't say God told me to do something. I don't say that very lightly. I don't say that unless I'm absolutely 100% sure I'm told to do something. Sometimes we think about things. Sometimes we wonder if maybe God wants us to do something. There's another deal when God says do it. And this is what this book is. He said do it. Write it. And here's your title. Matter of fact, put it in red. Revelation 9:11. Put it in red. How the book of Revelation intersects with today's headlines. And my co-author, Troy Anderson, who's a Pulitzer Prize nominated journalist and loves the Lord, has teamed up with me with some tremendous research to help me with the book. And it was tremendous. Couldn't do it without him. But let me just say this. He told me to write this. Well, this book went number one on Amazon. It went number one bestseller in the categories of religion and state. Was it religion, state, and church? I think it is. Went number one there. Went number two in another category, and went number 23 in another category. It's still right now. It's still number one new release in two categories at Amazon. And what I didn't know was Kindle. I didn't even know our book was out on Kindle. I didn't even know it. But it is, and it's number 3 new best release. It's number 3 new release. I didn't even know it. Okay. So get your book ordered. Be sure you get the hard copy. I want you to go to Amazon.com and order it if you can today. Order it so that you'll be ready when this thing releases on April 2nd, because you won't believe this. Because one of the things in this book is the solar eclipse on April 8th, the importance of that eclipse in the prophetic narrative, okay? And so that's in the book. So April 2nd, when this thing ships everywhere to everyone who's pre-ordered, you'll be ready. And matter of fact, I'm telling folks, if you can, Yeah, it went number one yesterday. Number one, it's still number one new release at Amazon on religion, church, and state. But yesterday it went number one, first time. So now we can say this is a number one bestseller, and we didn't think that was going to happen. We thought maybe it could happen around April, maybe, possibly, if God's hand and favor, and people thought maybe it would make sense. Never dreamed it would happen in December. Okay, never dreamed that. Way too early for that. But God's hand is on it, and people know it's a time we're in. People are researching. People are trying to find out what's going on these last days, and God's hand. Now, I want you to say you can order the book. Just go to Amazon.com, pre-order it, get your pre-order in. And as I've said, if you want to order 5 of them, and I know that sounds crazy, but God said tell people. Tell them. Don't just order one, because when they read it, they're going to want to give it to people, and they'll never get it back. Just tell them, look, order 5. Just pre-order 5 right now. When those 5 books come in, one will be yours, and you give the other 4 away to 4 people that you believe. And they could be Christian. Maybe 2 are Christians and 2 are not saved yet, because the plan of salvation is in the end of this book. I don't know. You'll know who to give it to. It's your family, your friends. You'll know the people who will be, and it will change their lives. So I'm just saying that again. Now, meanwhile, look what's going on in the world. Look what's going on in the world. We're in the end times. There's not a question about that. And speaking of the end of time, let me just say this real fast that before we let you go here, because as things are happening so quick, it's the end of the year. It is the end of the year. And if you would like to give an offering, an end of the year offering, thanking the Lord for what he's done for you this year, that he's kept you alive. Many of you, he's blessed you, your health. He's blessed your family. You know, you've got so much to thank God for. And despite some of the chaos and the carnage and the craziness that's going on around the world, the Lord has been good to you and me. He's been good to all of us. And so you may want to give an end-of-the-year offering. You can go to publiclyprophecy.com. You can go to publiclyprophecy.com, and you can give today. Certainly you should do that. And some of you have been blessed. I mean, you got your inheritance. Some of your inheritance came in this year. Some of you, you had an insurance settlement came in this year. You've been praying about it. We prayed with you. You were giving and tithing and trusting God. Some of you, you got your insurance settlement. Some of you got inheritances. Some of you, retirement funds came in. Some of you sold property that and have got a windfall from it and has helped you. God has been good. God has been good to you. And so finish this year with an offering to finish the year. Some of you actually need to give, because either that or you're going to be sending a check to the IRS. So you need to give. So why not give into the kingdom of God, where there's a guaranteed return? That I promise you. Jesus said it. I don't have to, I don't have to go around convincing people of that. So Jesus said, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, men will give in your bosom. So I'm just saying to everybody, get your end of the year offering in right now. Do it today. Go to our website at publiclyprophecy.com, and you can write us if you want to just send a check or money order in mail. You can just write me at Paul Begley Prophecy, 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. You can just put a check or money order in mail. And I've actually asked people, just write me, even if I just want to hear from people. Heidi and I love to read the letters. We love to read the cards and letters. Some of you have never sent a letter in your life. And this, if you're going to do one, do this one. Write me a letter of what Jesus has done for you in your life. Tell me is this broadcast, is this ministry helping you in any way? Tell me if there's anything you wish I would do different. Tell me. Just tell me. Do you have a prayer request that we need to pray over? Just let me hear from you. Just write me. And you can give if you want to. You don't have to. Just write me. I need to hear from you. I love to read. I love to meet the people who follow us. But I love a tangible. And we save all the letters. They go into our chest. We have 4 chests now full of letters. We're getting ready to order a 5th chest. I'm talking about a chest, big chest that we have up in the Rachel's Heart chapel. So we'd love to hear from you today. We really would love to hear from you today, and we'd love for you to be able to give and be blessed. You can do the easy give. You want to do that over at Breeze. There it is. You can just do easy. That's another way to give. And also it's the end of the year. I am going to be doing a special tomorrow. I'm preaching a message under the big tent called 1 minute. It's actually called A Minute to Midnight. More in 2024. Okay, A Minute to Midnight. More in 2024. This is very important message. Maybe one of the most profound messages I've ever preached. I'll be preaching it live under the big tent in the Villages here in Florida. You can also give by phone if you just want to pick up the phone and say, I want to do an end of the year offering right now over the phone. Pick up the number, call the main line, 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. Very important for you to get to finish this year with planting a seed going into next year, ready for 24. It's a year that you want the hand of God on your life in every area of your life. No doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. I'll be right back in just a moment. I remember the night I first gave my life to Jesus. I was lost and all alone and so undone. There were pieces of me here, pieces of me there, and I was so broken. Then I asked Jesus, can you put me back together again? And I know where I was then. I know where I am now. You came to me and you saved me and turned my life around. And I know where I was then, Lord, and I know where I am now. You know, this walk in life, it's full of many decisions. And we live with each and every one we make. But the best decision I ever made was when I asked the Lord, can you come and heal this broken man that I am? And I know where I was then. I know where I am now. He came to me and you saved me and turned my life around. And I know where I was then, Lord, and I know where to me and you saved me. You turned my life around, and I know where I was then, Lord, and I know where I am now. I know where I was then, Lord, and I know where I am now. Thank you, Cindy. That's a wonderful comment. Cindy Sagamore. Steve Balance, good to see you. All right, guys. So anyway, stay positive. We know it's a very interesting time we're going into, so please be sure you give your life to Jesus Christ. Amen. This has just happened, and destruction looms as prophecy is unfolding right before our very eyes. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Oh, yeah, Notre Dame. Hey, it was nice that you won the bowl game. 40-8 over Oregon State. But too bad you're not in the playoffs. Anyway, God bless everybody.